What's up, everybody? Horace here with 40 Plus Finance, and in this quick video I'm going to talk to you about why I stopped buying shares of ULTY. In fact, I completely sold out of ULTY and I decided to start writing my own covered calls. So I'm going to show you what I did and let you be the judge on whether I'm right or I'm wrong, or however you think about it. I just want to share with you what I did. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just an old fool trying to figure out how to generate some regular recurring income in my middle age. So without further ado, let me share my screen with you so you can see what I did. So if we go inside of my Fidelity account, what you'll notice, so today is November the 1st, 2025. And what you'll notice is on the 27th, I bought 100 shares of a company called SoFi. And those 100 shares cost me $2,977.35. And you can see right here, I bought 100 shares. Then I immediately turned around and sold a covered call at a strike price of $30, right? So I bought 100 shares. That means I paid $29.77 a share, and I sold a covered call, which you need 100 shares to sell, at a strike price of 30. That means that if the stock would have reached $30 or more, those 100 shares could have been called away. As you can see right here, they expired out of the money, so they did not get called away, but I didn't care if they did. The point I want you to focus on is this. It cost me $2,977.35 in order to immediately make $164.33. I want you to focus on that, okay? Because in ULTY, we got to figure out how many shares I would have needed to have of ULTY and what that amount of shares would have cost me in order to get this same amount of premium or yield, okay? Because when you write a covered call, when you sell a covered call, this is what the person paid me for the right to be able to call those 100 shares away from me at a price of $30. Now I paid $29.77 a share, so I would have got a little bit of upside on the difference, but the main thing I made was the premium, and that's what I want. But watch this. We're going to figure out real quick what it would have cost if I wanted this same yield with ULTYs. Okay, now very important. Here's what you got to remember. I made $164.33 in yield in 1 week. The contract was only like a 4 or 5 day contract. So you got to keep in mind and keep everything relative, right? So basically what we need to find out is, because ULTY pays weekly, okay, that's why I liked it. How many shares will we need of ULTY to get a weekly dividend of $164.33 or thereabouts? Okay, and how much would all of those shares cost? I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go to AI mode. It's great to use AI for stuff like this. Here you can see my phrase. At the current yield, how many shares of ULTY would I need to get a weekly yield of $164.33? And how much would the total number of shares cost me? Let's see if it can figure that out. Now, AI isn't perfect, but you can see right here, to earn a weekly income of $164.33 from ULTY, you would need 809.80 shares, which would cost approximately $8,981.53. We'll just say roughly it would take $9,000 to get a weekly yield of 164.33. All right. But look at what did it cost me? It cost me roughly $2,977.35. If we're going to round up for ULTY, we got to round up for me as well. So instead of $9,000, I only need $3,000. So $6,000 less. What that means is, here's what we could have done. With that amount of money, we could have bought 300 shares, right? And at that, I mean, and we're saying hypothetically, but instead of 164 in yield, we could have gotten $492.33. So for the amount of money we put into ULTY, think about it. We could have got roughly $500 instead of, 164. And get this, on top of that, you're done trying to figure out all this stupid stuff when it comes to high yield ETF, covered call ETF funds. Everybody wants to talk about NAV erosion and they want to talk about the underlying stock and all of this. One stock could have got you so much more money. Think about what $500 could mean to you per week. Now, there's nothing guaranteed. There are risks. So go ahead and light me up. Go ahead and light me up in the comments. But please come back. Come back and watch what I'm doing. For those of you who, again, this is not financial advice, but it's good to see what people are doing. You got a lot of people into these high yield covered call ETFs, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're willing to do a little bit more work, I'm here to prove to myself and just show you, if you're watching, that you can make a lot more money, and it's nothing hard about it. So leave some comments. Let's get the channel growing. So like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.